So all I gotta do is bolt south to the fishing guru's house, and yeah, as I remembered, I have to fight a trainer on the way. So, as I was saying earlier, I could know exactly what the Snorlax's moveset was, because the way Wild Pokemon's moveset is determined is that it's the last 4 moves that it learned. It's as simple as that, and it can get really predictable. However, Mystery Dungeon's formula is a bit more interesting. It's 4 moves picked at random. Oh gee, light screen. So now, aw man, and the 99.6 glitch on top of that, and the Voltorb uses light screen again, as if it's completely oblivious to the fact that there was already a light screen up. And as I was saying, in Mystery Dungeon, it's 4 moves picked at random among the moves the Pokemon could learn up to this point, so there's nothing guaranteed. Light screen again? Wait a minute! How could light screen last only 2 turns? Did it go away when the Voltorb died? Because I didn't know about that. I thought it lasted 5 turns no matter how many Pokemon were killed in the meantime or anything like that. And it keeps using light screen! What gives? I've only seen light screen from this guy! But back to what I was saying, both methods can bring some pretty weird scenarios. I've heard of someone encountering a Zapdos in Mystery Dungeon 2 that had no offensive moves whatsoever. It could only attack with the regular attack, and on the opposite side, there are Pelipers on Route 230 in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum that, if their level is 50 or above, they cannot harm you in any way, so they're ideal fodder for electric Pokemon you wish to train. I say electric Pokemon, it might as well be anything, but it's most effective when you have an electric move. And now I just got the Super Rod, so now I'm going to head north of Vermilion City to Route 6, since that's where Krabbies are the most common. But no matter where I fished the Krabby, it's always going to be level 15. So it doesn't matter where I go, it's going to be level 15. So I'm just going to go where it's more common. Because, as you probably remember, fishing can be quite a tedious ordeal. And as for how I'm actually going to weaken the Krabby, well, since it's only level 15, it's a guarantee that every offensive move I have will slaughter it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Gastly. I am going to use Leech Seed, and this time I'm going to use Poison Powder as well, since unlike Gastly, it's vulnerable to it, and Poison Powder, on top of weakening the Pokemon, also increases my chances of catching it. The bonus isn't as big as Sleep or Freezing, but it's the same as a Burn or Paralysis, so I hate having to go into the menu every time, and in times like this, it's where I will usually hotkey the Super Rod, but here there's no hotkey, so I gotta go in the menu every time there is no fish Pokemon that pulls. Now, aside from Krabbies, there are also Shellders. Both have an equal chance of occurring here. And, oh, this is getting boring already. This is even more tedious than recharging the Versus Seeker or the Pokéradar, if you ask me. And in Generation 3, it's even worse. They tried to make fishing interactive. They thought it would make it even more interesting, but most people hated it, including myself, because on top of that, you had to actually watch when something would pull the line. So, yeah, sometimes you'd end up missing for nothing. Oh, finally! And sometimes the window's rather small, so you can't really... Oh, yeah, Krabby on the first try. At least I didn't get 6 Shellders in a row or anything like that. So now I'm gonna start weakening it. I'm gonna have Poison Powder go first, since it deals more damage. And yeah, Bubble isn't gonna do a whole lot now, is it? So as I was saying, fishing was really horrendous in Generation 3, especially since, as I was saying before I got interrupted, you have such a small window sometimes as to when you can actually push the button, and the higher rank rod you use, the more times you have to push the button, and it can often take forever. If I ever do a Let's Play of Emerald, hey, 1 ball's all it took! That's nice, but yeah, if I ever do a Let's Play of Emerald, I am going to make sure that I mine for fish as little as humanly possible, because it's a hair-tearing experience, especially when you're using the super rod. Next step would be retiring Oddish on a permanent basis and replacing it with Krabby and giving it cut right away. So now you'll get to see what I usually do in between parts. I would cut it out, but maybe showing it just once wouldn't hurt. So yeah, bye-bye Oddish, I won't need you ever again, but I'm still gonna keep you just because I can. And now I am going to I'm going to deposit the items in excess that I have. The Silscope, I won't need it. And the lift key, I won't need it either. And yeah, the super rod, I don't plan on fishing anymore until the end of the game, so into the box it goes. And even if I was planning on fishing later in the game, oh man, I deposited the Pokéflute instead of the Silscope. Wow, I was stupid, because I really want to keep the Pokéflute since it's basically the equivalent of an unlimited supply of awakenings. So now it's time to give the thing cut, since that's 1/3 of the reason why I caught the thing to begin with. So yeah, if you don't know what kind of Pokemon to use as your HM slave, Krabby is the one you want. You basically just need something to fly around with other than that, and you're all set. And as for Flash, well, once you go through the rock tunnel once, you never need to go back. Oh! What's going on now? Oh yeah, remember, the PC doesn't heal Pokemon in this generation. So now I have to heal again, even though I wouldn't have needed to otherwise. But yeah, that is one other convenient thing that was added in other generations, that going into the PC would heal your Pokemon. I don't know why you need a separate type of Pokeball for that to happen when the Pokemon ends up in your party, but yeah, is that for a balance reason or anything? I cannot think of a reason why they would do that, because it just makes a back trip to the Pokemon Center mandatory if you want to use it short term. But okay, now I'm done frolicking around, going all over the place to catch Pokemon. It's time to finally take on the Celadon Gym. And oh, that's not this way. I have to cut another bush, and just like with the bike, it's really beginning to annoy me how I have to go to the menu every single time. And it's even longer than with the bicycle, so it's even more irritating. So join me next time as I plod through a bunch of worthless underlings on my way to Gym Leader number 4, Erica.